The American people in this office has been a journey I never expected. It's a journey that would not have been possible without the support of my family, beginning with my wonderful wife, Karen.
She's kind enough to put a finger in his butthole.
She's a lifelong school teacher, an incredible mother to our 3 children. And she is one outstanding Second Lady of the United States. I'm so proud of you.
Look at these crusty motherfuckers.
And we couldn't be more proud of our 3 children.
None of them are wearing masks.
Marine Corps Captain Michael J. Pence and his wife Sarah.
I guess they all probably got tested.
Pence Bond, an author, and the wife to Lieutenant Henry Bond, who is currently deployed and serving our nation.
They probably didn't know these dumb motherfuckers.
And our youngest, a recent law school grad, our daughter Audrey, and her fiancé, who, like so many other Americans, had to delay their wedding this summer. But we can't wait for Dan to be a...
Oh, boo-hoo.
In addition to my wife and kids, the person who shaped my life the most is also with us tonight. My mom, Nancy.
He calls his wife mother, too. Both his moms are in the crowd.
She is the daughter of an Irish immigrant, 87 years young. And Mom follows
look how proud she is.
Very closely. And the truth be told,
I feel sorry that, you know, the country hates her son.
Sometimes I think I'm actually her second favorite candidate on the Trump-Pence ticket. Thank you, Mom. I love you.
Yeah, she looks like a batshit crazy woman that would be into Trump.
I've had the privilege to work closely with our president. I've seen him when the cameras are off. Americans see President Trump in lots of different ways. But there's no doubt how
I'm sure he's worse when the cameras are off.
He sees America
for
what it is.
He's entirely a piece of shit. He's charismatic in front of the camera.
A nation that has done more good in this world
to the extent that he is charismatic.
A nation that deserves far more gratitude than grievance. And if you want a president who falls silent when our heritage is demeaned or insulted, he's not your man. Now, we came by very different routes to this partnership. And some people think we're a little bit different.
That's the truth.
But you know, I've learned a few things watching him. Watching him deal with all that we've been through over the past 4 years. He does things in his own way, on his own terms. Not much gets past him. And when he has an opinion, he's liable to share it. He's certainly kept things interesting. But more importantly, President Donald Trump has kept his word to the American people.
I remember when we used to talk about political stories for like multiple days at a time.
In a city known for talkers,
sometimes weeks.
President Trump
went on for a while.
And few presidents have brought more independence, energy, or determination to that office. 4 years ago, we inherited a military hollowed out by devastating budget cuts, an economy struggling to break out of the slowest recovery since the Great Depression.
What's he talking about?
ISIS controlled a land mass twice the size of Pennsylvania, and we witnessed a steady assault on our most cherished values, freedom of religion and the right to life. That's when President Donald Trump stepped in. And from day one, he kept his word. We rebuilt our military. This president signed the largest increase in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan and created the first new branch of our armed forces in 70 years, the United States Space Force. And with that renewed energy, we also returned American astronauts to space on an American rocket for the first time in nearly 10 years. And after years of scandal that robbed our veterans of the care that you earned in the uniform of the United States, President Trump kept his word again. We reformed the VA, and Veterans Choice is now available for every veteran in America. Our armed forces and our veterans fill this land of heroes. And many
Night
times
of
tonight,
Heroes is the theme for the night.
Tonight we have among us 4 recipients of the Medal of Honor.
They're doing a lot better job of hammering home the point because I never could figure out what last night's
6
was.
recipients of the Purple Heart. A Gold Star mother of a gallant Navy SEAL.
Let's get Trump out here so he can make
And
fun of
wounded
him.
warriors from Soldier Strong, a group that serves our injured veterans every day. We are honored by your presence, and we thank you for your service.
Guys, I'm gonna fall asleep. I can't. There's another hour and 15 minutes of this. Oh my God.
With heroes just like these, we defend this nation every day. And under this commander-in-chief, we've taken the fight to radical Islamic terrorists on our terms, on their soil. Last year, American armed forces took the last inch of ISIS territory, crushed their caliphate, and
I can't
took
believe there's
down
people
their
watching
leader
this
without
shit.
one American casualty.
I do a
And I
much
was
more
there.
entertaining show when this isn't
President
on.
Trump gave the order to take out the world's most dangerous terrorist. Iran's top
He-
general
what?
will never
He
harm
gave the order to
another
take himself out?
American because Qasem Soleimani is gone.
Oh, you're talking about that motherfucker. God,
My fellow
that was
Americans,
this
you deserve to
year.
know.
That was earlier this
Joe Biden
year.
criticized
Holy
President
fuck, that
Trump's
feels like a
policy.
lifetime ago.
Decisions to rid the world of 2 terrorist leaders.
Ugh.
But it's not surprising, because history records that Joe Biden even opposed the operation that took down Osama bin Laden. It's no wonder that
Really?
the
I didn't know
Secretary
that.
of Defense under the Obama-Biden administration once said that Joe Biden has been, and I quote, wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades.
Which is hilarious because he supported
So
the
we've stood up
Republican
to our
position.
And we've stood with our allies.
And he's been wrong.
Like when President Trump kept his word and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, the capital of the State of Israel, setting the stage for the first Arab country to recognize Israel in 26 years.
Setting the stage for Jeebus to come back in that
Closer to
motherfucker's
home,
mind.
we appointed more than 200 conservative judges to our federal courts. We supported the right to life and all the God-given liberties enshrined
They don't
in our
call it
Constitution,
activist judges
including
when
the
they're
Second
doing
Amendment
it.
right to keep and bear arms. And when it came to the economy, President Trump kept his word and then some. We passed the largest tax cut and reform in American history. We rolled back more federal red tape than any administration ever had. We unleashed American energy and fought for free and fair trade. And in our first 3 years, businesses large and small created more than 7 million good-paying jobs, including 500,000 manufacturing jobs all across America. Our country became a net exporter of energy for the first time in 70 years.
I thought that
Unemployment rates
happened
for
under
African
Obama.
Americans and Hispanic Americans hit the lowest level ever recorded. And on this 100th anniversary of the woman's right to vote, I'm proud to report that under President Donald Trump, we achieved the lowest unemployment rate for women in 65 years.
Not now, not right now at this moment.
And more Americans working than ever before.
Not right
in our
now
first
at
3
this
years, we
moment.
built the greatest economy in the world. We made America great again.
You rode an Obama wave, and now you crashed the economy.
And then
And
the
the gall of
coronavirus
you
struck from
motherfuckers
China.
to get on stage and proclaim that.
Before the first case of the coronavirus spread within the United States, the president took unprecedented action.
Well, that's not
Suspended
fucking
all
true.
Travel from China, the second largest economy in the world. Now that action saved untold American lives. And I can tell you firsthand, it bought us invaluable time to launch the greatest national mobilization since World War II. President Trump marshaled the full resources of our federal government from the outset. He directed us to forge a seamless partnership with governors across America in both political parties. We partnered with private industry to reinvent testing and produce supplies that were distributed to hospitals around the land. Today, we're conducting more than 800,000 tests a day, and we have coordinated the delivery of billions of pieces of personal protective equipment for our amazing doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers.
Yep, didn't listen to a word he said. I was watching the flags wave in the background.
We saw to the manufacture of 100,000 ventilators in 100 days.
They were just
And no one who required a ventilator
gently in
was
the breeze.
ever denied a ventilator in the United States. We built hospitals, surged military medical personnel, and enacted an economic rescue package that saved 50 million American jobs. As we speak, we're developing a growing number of treatments known as therapeutics,
Just the depth of field on this flag,
including convalescent plasma, that are saving lives all across
It's a
the world.
nice shot.
Now, last week, Joe Biden said that no miracle is coming.
He's well lit. He's popping out.
But what Joe doesn't seem to understand is that America is a nation of miracles.
Remember last night he was talking
And I'm proud to report that we're on
I thought he was
track
very
to have
scary
the
in
world's
4K.
first safe, effective coronavirus vaccine by the end of this year.
He took my criticism to heart. He softened him up.
After all the sacrifice in this year like no other, all the hardship,
He's still pretty ugly, though.
we're finding our way forward again. But tonight, our hearts are with all
But I
the families
can't
who've
fault a
lost
man
loved
for having a
ones
watermelon head.
and have family members still struggling with serious illness. In this country, we mourn with those who mourn. We grieve with those who grieve.
He doesn't have any eyebrows.
And this night, I know that millions of Americans will pause and pray for God's comfort for each of you. You know, our country doesn't get through such a time unless its people find strength within. The response of doctors, nurses, first responders, farmers, factory workers, truckers, and everyday Americans who put the health and safety of their neighbors first has been nothing short of heroic.
Not of heroes. Whoop, whoop.
Veronica Sayez put on her scrubs every day. Day in and day out, went to work in one of New York City's busiest hospitals. She stayed on the job, put in the long hours until it was done, and then got back in her neighborhood and helped neighbors and friends struggling. Her brother William
Friends.
is a New York City firefighter.
You are my friends.
And they're both emblematic of heroes all across this country. They're with us tonight. And I
Not of
say to them and to all
heroes.
of you, You have earned the admiration of the American people, and we will always be grateful for your service and care.
Yeah, I probably like those people. I just don't like your dumbass. She's never done anything to me. I got nothing against her. She's probably cool.
Thanks to the courage and compassion of the American people, we're
She
slowing
might not
the
be
spread.
the brightest if she'll vote
We're
for,
protecting
like,
the vulnerable.
Trump.
And we're saving lives. And we're opening up America again. Because of the strong foundation
Do
that
I need to
President
get the
Trump
graph
poured in our
out?
first 3 years,
We're leading the
we've already
world
gained
in
back
deaths and cases.
9.3 million jobs in the last 3 months alone. And we're not just opening up America again.
Oh,
We're
this
opening
is
up America's schools.
So boring. And that's a genocide. You are marching kids
And I'm proud to report that
to
my
a
wife,
fucking
Karen,
genocide. It's
that
insane.
school teacher I've been married to, will be returning to her classroom next week. And so to all of our heroic teachers,
Well, good luck to
faculty,
her.
and staff, thank you for
That's
being there
not
for
a
our
broad
kids.
idea.
We're going to stay with you every step of the way. In the days ahead, as we open up America again, I promise you, we'll continue to put the health of America first. And as we work to bring this
Healthcare,
economy back,
please.
we all have a role to play. And we all have a choice to make. On November 3rd, you need to ask yourself, who do you trust to rebuild this economy? A career
Not
politician
Trump.
who presided over the slowest
Not
economic
you.
recovery since the Great Depression? Or a proven leader?
I don't know how
created
to,
the greatest
like you said
economy
that a
in the
couple
world.
times. I don't know where
choice
that
is
stat
clear.
comes from. How
To bring America all the way back, we need 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House.
Like, there's never been another dip as large as the Great Depression.
My fellow Americans, we're passing through a time of testing.
Seems like a derpy stat.
But in the midst of this global pandemic, just as our nation had begun to recover, we've seen violence and chaos in the streets of our major cities. President Trump and I will always support the right of Americans to peaceful protest. But rioting and looting is not peaceful protest. Tearing down statues is not free speech.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And those who do
if
so
the
will
poor
be
people
prosecuted
are rioting
to the fullest extent
and the
of law.
rich people are against it, you need to take the side of the rioters.
Last week, Joe Biden
They
didn't
are
say
your fellow
one
citizens, and they are
word about the
rioting for a
violence and
reason.
chaos engulfing
If you do
cities
not
across
know that
this country.
reason, go
let me
find
be
out that reason.
The violence must
There
stop.
are plenty of loudmouths
Whether
that
in
will be willing to
Minneapolis,
tell you,
Portland,
but actually
or
listen
Kenosha.
to them.
Too
And you
many
might get
heroes have
pissed
died
off.
defending our freedom to see Americans strike each other down. We will have law and order on the streets of this country for every American of every race and creed and color.
He gave a shout out to Creed.
President Trump and I know that the men and women that put on the uniform of law enforcement are the best of us.
They are
Every
literally
day.
the scum of the earth.
When they walk out that door, they consider our lives more important than their
The
own.
lowest form of human beings.
People like
Nobody
Dave
that
Patrick
considers
Garner,
everybody else's life more important
an
than their
officer in the
own,
Department of Homeland
would shoot a
Security's Federal
motherfucker in the
Protective
back
Service,
8 times.
who was shot and killed during the riots in Oakland, California. Dave's heroism is emblematic. of the heroes that serve in blue every day. And we're privileged tonight to be joined by his sister, Angela. Angela, we say to you, we grieve with your family. And America will never forget or fail to honor Officer Dave Patrick Underwood. The American people know we don't have to choose between supporting law enforcement and standing with our African American neighbors to improve the quality of their lives, education, jobs.
There are 15 flags behind them.
And from the first days of this administration, we've done both. And we will keep supporting law enforcement and keep supporting our African American and minority communities across this land for 4 more years.
ACAB, motherfucker.
Now, Joe Biden says that America is systemically racist and that law enforcement in America has, and I quote, an implicit bias against minorities. When asked whether he'd support cutting funding to law enforcement, Joe Biden replied, yes, absolutely.
He did not say that. He said he wanted to fund cops more.
To violence in America's cities. The hard truth is, you won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
You're not safe in Trump's America.
Trump, we will always stand with those who stand on the thin blue line, and we're not going to defund the police, not now, not ever.
Defund this convention.
My fellow Americans, we're passing through a time of testing, but soon we will come to a time for choosing. Joe Biden has referred to himself as a transition candidate, and many were asking, transition to what? But last week,
turned down for
Democrats
what?
Didn't talk very much about their agenda. And if I were them, I wouldn't either. I mean, Bernie Sanders did tell his followers that Joe Biden would be the most liberal president in modern times. In fact, he said, and I
mean,
quote,
it's a really, really low bar.
That just a few years ago were considered radical are now mainstream in the Democratic Party. At the root of their agenda is the belief that America is driven by envy, not aspiration. That millions of Americans harbor ill will toward our neighbors instead of loving our neighbors as ourselves. The radical left believes that the federal government must be involved in every aspect of our lives to correct those American wrongs.
Oh.
They believe the
paying
federal
attention to what he
government needs to
said
dictate
again.
how Americans
It's hard to
live,
crack
how we
jokes
should
if I'm not
work,
paying attention.
how we should raise our children,
It's hard to pay
in the
attention because I'm
process
falling
deprive our
asleep.
people of freedom, prosperity, and security. Their agenda is based on government control. Our agenda is based on freedom. Where President Trump cut taxes, Joe Biden wants to raise taxes by nearly $4 trillion.
I'm crying
Where
of
this president
absolute
achieved
boredom
energy
right
independence for the United States, Joe Biden would abolish fossil fuels, end fracking, and impose a regime of climate change regulations that would drastically increase the cost of living for working families. Where we fought for free and fair trade, and this president stood up to China and ended the era of economic surrender, Joe Biden has been a cheerleader for communist China. He wants to repeal all the tariffs that are leveling the playing field for American workers. And he actually criticized President Trump for suspending all travel to China at the outset of this pandemic.
I don't even remember that
Joe
happening.
Biden is for open borders.
But that feels
sanctuary
like a
cities,
lifetime ago.
free lawyers and health care for illegal immigrants. And President Trump, he secured our border and built nearly 300 miles of that border wall.
That's not true at all.
Joe Biden wants to end school choice.
He's replaced
President Trump believes
a bunch
that
of
every
wall.
parent should have the right to choose where their children go to school, regardless of their income or area code.
That is code for siphon
Trump,
public money into private
President Trump has stood without apology
firms.
for the sanctity of human life every day of this administration. Joe Biden,
That's code for I
He
want to
supports
seem
taxpayer
moral without
funding
having
of
to
abortion.
do fucking anything.
right up to the moment of
Just
birth.
mention the unborn.
When you consider their agenda, it's clear. Joe Biden would be nothing more than a Trojan horse for the radical left. The choice in this election has never been clearer, and the stakes have never been higher. Last week, Joe Biden said democracy's on the ballot. And the truth is, our economic recovery is on the ballot. Law and order are on the ballot. But so are things far more fundamental and foundational to our country. In this election, it's not so much whether America will be more conservative or more liberal, more Republican or more Democrat. The choice
It's
in
going
this
to be
election
more violent before it's
is
more
whether
peaceful.
America remains America. It's whether we will leave to our children and our grandchildren a country grounded in our highest ideals of freedom, free
We're in for a
markets,
wild
unalienable right to
ride
life
for the
and
next
liberty,
couple months.
or whether we will leave them a country that's fundamentally transformed into something else. We stand at a crossroads, America. President Trump has set our nation on a path of freedom and opportunity. Joe Biden would set America on a path of socialism and decline. But
Woohoo!
we're not going to let it happen.
I don't think you guys are winning.
President Donald Trump believes in
If you're a
America,
Trump supporter
in the
out
goodness of
there,
the
I
American
would brace yourself for a
boundless
loss.
potential of every American to live out their dreams in freedom. And every day, President Trump has been fighting to protect the promise of America. Every day, our president has been fighting to expand the reach of the American dream. Every day, President Donald Trump has been fighting for you. And now it's our turn to fight for him. On this night, in the company of heroes, I'm
Night of Heroes.
deeply grateful for the privilege of serving as Vice President of this great nation and to have the opportunity to serve again. I pray to be worthy of it, and I will give that duty all that's in me. In the year 2020, the American people have had more than our share of challenges. But thankfully, we have a president with the toughness, energy, and resolve to see us through. Now, those traits actually run in our national character.
I thought he was getting close to being
As the
finished.
invading force learned on approach to this fort,
He
in
started
September
a
of
whole nother
1814.
section of the speech.
against fierce and sustained bombardment, our young country was defended by heroes, not so different from those who are with us tonight. The enemy was counting on them to
Night
quit,
of Heroes.
but they never did. Fort McHenry held, and when morning came, our flag was still here.
Oh, say can you see? So that's why he's there. I was wondering
My
why he
fellow
was in
Americans,
Baltimore.
We're going through a time of testing. But if you look through the fog of these challenging times, you will see our flag is still there today.
I can't see through the fog. Like the tears in my eyes because I'm so fucking literally
that
bored
star-spangled
to
banner
tears.
still waves over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Am I supposed to put my hand on my goddamn heart right now?
From these hallowed grounds, American patriots
what the
and generations
brainwashed
gone by
motherfuckers
did their
do?
part to defend
The
freedom.
bootlickers out there.
Now it's our turn. So let's run the race marked out for us. Let's fix our eyes on Old Glory and all she represents. Let's fix our eyes on this land of heroes and let their courage inspire. And let's fix our eyes on the author and perfecter of our faith and our freedom. And never forget that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. That means freedom always wins.
Yeah, because the bad
My
guys
fellow
never think they have
Americans,
God
thank you
on
for
their
the honor of
side.
addressing you
That's
tonight.
never happened
And the
any
opportunity to
time
run
throughout
and serve
history.
again as your vice
Ever.
I leave here today inspired.
Right-wingers and morons.
And I leave here today more convinced than ever that we will do in our time as Americans have done throughout our long and storied past. We will defend our freedom and our way of life.
Mike Pence would really hate it if
We
he
will
saw
re-elect
you
our
wearing a
president
right-wingers and
and
morons
principled
t-shirt
Republican leaders
that you can
across
buy
the
at the
land.
link right below
And with
my
President
picture.
Donald Trump in the
Right
White
down
House
there.
for 4
The
more
freaking shop.
years,
That's a real advertisement.
and with God's help, we will make America
That's a real
great
shirt.
again.
You can get one. I got
Again.
a flag. It's fucking awesome.
Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Finally. Jesus Christ, that was like fucking 30 minutes. Wait, is what, Trump? He's there too? Of course he's got to make it about himself. Melania looking colorful tonight. Instead of her communist olive dress she had on. She gonna talk? Finally we got some action going on.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome country music superstar Trace Atkins.
Oh shit! I've actually seen Trace Atkins in concert. He wasn't bad, but like he beat his wife or something like that. Supposedly he's not a very savory individual.
Oh, say, can you
Hell of a voice
see
though.
by the dawn's early light what
That
so
honky tonk,
proudly we hailed
but
at the
Uncle
twilight's
Tom.
last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars.
Don't think I didn't sing along with some honky tonk badonkadonk. I did.
Or the ramparts.
What that's not even the fucking American flag. What the fuck?
Gallantly streaming.
What fucking flag was that?
Rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in.
What's going on?
Gave proof through the night.
That's like a historical site, so that must have some meaning. Like I must be flipping out over nothing.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
But it's not like the 13 colonies flag. But that doesn't mean that it was the flag before that flag or whatever.
And the home of the brave.
I mean, they could have had a worse performer doing the national anthem. He did a really good job. Motherfucker's got talent. Unsavory individual, and that's the reason why he's at the RNC. Then they play, is that Brooks and Dunn? This shit's gonna get me a copyright claim. Fuck you, Trump. I need to talk as much as I can over top of it so that Facebook doesn't yank the video down. Only in America. I worked for a country music station like around the time that song came out. I heard it constantly. Fuck, especially when it was the 4th of July. Some shit like that. Oh, fuck. That fucking song. Is this the end of the convention? Are they wrapping up early tonight? That all they had? Because, good lord, that might be all I have in me. I can't believe there's fucking people still watching this. Why? Are you guys masochists? If that's not the end of the RNC's coverage, it should be. I'm signing off for the night. We're going to be back tomorrow for the final night. Trump and his big... I'm sure he's going to have a rally. I'm sure there's going to be people there like this. Holy shit. That's a crowd of people. No masks. And Trump's going out there in them? What? Holy shit. Oh, this is amazing. But alright, we'll be back tomorrow night. Sometime between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. As always, go ahead, light one up. Tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol.